Okay, so I've got this snowplow that I made. What's the problem with it? Well, it works pretty darn good. What did I find? I found those orange straps. I've got them hooked to the bottom and the front, and if I pull it, it's super easy to pull. When I push it, the front is getting dug into the concrete or the driveway or whatever. So the physics of it is a little bit wrong. It's really pretty easy to push, okay? With those big wheels and everything, it's easy to push. The weight of it is no issue. And if you look at where the wheels are, the axle, and you look at the plow, that bar that goes across is pointing down. That needs to be at least level. Okay, so the idea is that you want to have a good balance. Where that 2x4 is and that little hunk of white shim, that's the fulcrum. That's where the axle will be. Or that's, you want to figure out where it doesn't require like any force or very little force to lift the front of the plow. So it's pretty much balanced. It just sits there. So that when you're pushing, it's not digging the front of the blade into your concrete or into your asphalt or rocks or whatever you've got. So basically the axle, you want to find out where your axle is going to go based on the weight and the distribution of your setup. As far as an axle goes, mine is pretty simple. I just got this 1-inch square tube steel and I just welded a nut inside of it and grounded it flush. And so that's it for the axle. Okay, so the redesigned plow. I shortened up the distance between the wheels so that it accommodates my sidewalk better. I changed the center of gravity. I moved the axle forward, closer to the plow. I straightened it up. It used to be dipped down to where the plow was like digging down. Now it's more flat. Now when you just takes like a finger, very little pressure to lift the plow. Before you had to push down pretty hard on it because there's a lot of weight in the front. So the weight distribution is much better. Now when you want to push it, it's not digging, it's not much easier to push it. So it's not like digging down into the concrete anymore. So I didn't do anything with the handle. I mean, it's I changed up some supports over here just to make it work. I left this the way it was because I believe it's still getting pushed from the bottom. But the big deal is that the weight. One thing, the big deal is the axle is up closer so that the center of gravity, it's kind of like a seesaw thing to where it takes very little pressure. So the front of the plow is more up in the air. Everything's set up straighter. Much better setup.